Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you saw my video I put out recently, it was about sweet potato slips and how I was performing a little experiment. This is what we're doing here today. So a little background information about sweet potatoes. They are not like your regular potatoes. You can't just stick them in the ground and then they'll make potatoes. Trust me, there are some white potatoes that do that, and they're the best varieties. My mother-in-law is growing some and hers look beautiful. Sweet potatoes, you can't just stick in the dirt. They form what you call slips. So that's what these are. The little sprouts that come off the sweet potato as they age and get older, they'll form these. And then you take this and plant it. And then you let it grow all season long. And then once it gets way too hot, probably like August, September-ish, these will start to die off. And when the plant's completely dead, that is when you harvest. Other way you can do it, like I showed y'all, was in dirt. Here we go. Okay. So this is what I grew in dirt. This is my cool experiment. And oh, look, this one already kind of loosened up. You can see that we have the roots there. See how the roots are already coming off? I didn't have to slip that. I didn't have to put those in water to get those slips. Normally what you would do to get the slips in water is you would just pinch that off and then stick that in water. But first, we need to actually fill up our grow bags with dirt. All right, guys, so I was out here getting these and getting everything ready before I was coming out here to film. And apparently black widows really like to sleep in these. So if you have them, don't just sit them on the back porch. Probably put them up. Lesson learned, because black widows are on that one back there. And I threw it. I was like, goodbye, I don't need you. About 3 years ago, before finally took the time to really learn about gardening and how to grow my own food. And it was, I'm like, if anyone would have put this in front of my face in high school when I was in chemistry or science, maybe it would have been cooler to learn it back then. But that is essentially why I love gardening. Gardening is one big puzzle, and honestly, figuring it out is the most fun thing ever. And when you finally figure it out, it is the most satisfying experience of your life. Like, growing food from seed to actual harvest is one of the most empowering things I've ever felt. I love feeding my family that way, and that's what's kept me coming back for more. I like mixing up dirt, like all the different ones I have, just because I feel like all of them give it something different. So I'm going to put a little bit of Dan's dirt right there in the center. Last year, I filled these up to the top for my sweet potatoes, and I ended up getting like 20 sweet potatoes in each bag. So I'm going to do the same thing this year. Who knows if that's what will happen, but that's what we're shooting for. So the top now is where these bags of compost come in. This has been my favorite compost that's available to me. I live in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi, and honestly, it's hard to find stuff at Lowe's. Like, we don't get shipments here that like most people might get. You know, like we get like the bottom of the barrel stuff, which it's fine. I love living in Mississippi. I love the small town. I love the weather. I love my friends. I love my family. Everything about it. But our shopping life and supply chain is not stellar. Well, at my local nursery, we like to use Dan's Dirt. It's my favorite. They're from out of Mississippi. So the soil is somewhat native to my area. We have very thick clay soil. So I'm constantly amending flower beds and things like that just because it does get so caked up. Did you know that when you dig in dirt, a chemical is released that speaks to the little happy endorphins in your body? And it actually is a stress reliever. Helps anxiety, helps with depression, all the above. So when someone says get out and touch grass, it's quite literally that. Get out and touch grass and you will be shocked at the positives that will come from your life. All right, now I'm just going to put some more of that in there. I know a lot of people like to call this black gold. I have to agree. We're going to take our slips. So this first one, we're going to do these slips, okay? So just the ones that I started in water. You want to see how hard this is? It's very, very, very difficult. All right, now you see, there's the 3 of them. No rhyme or reason. Probably a little bit too close to those. Whatever. They're all going to grow throughout the year. I'll keep you posted. But there is just the water slips. So I need to remember which one's which, right? Here. Here's the water slips. Oh shoot, that's heavy. Now let's do dirt slips. All right, so this is the fun part that I think most people were interested in when I posted this. So you can start slips in water like that, or we start them in dirt. All right, I told you just how to dig them up. So let's watch this. These roots are going to be a little bit more prolific than this one, because these have been in here for about 2 weeks, maybe 3, and they had already chitted. So I make sure that the potato has already chitted, and then you also need to leave some of the potato exposed to the sun. I'm just going to dig these up. I have my nice broken shovel. See, we reuse things around here. Right. Oh, look, see, I've got roots way out here. Oh yeah. So we're just gonna pull this up just a hair. Oh yeah, there's roots all the way down in there. Look, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is all it took to get those. Those other slips that had been sitting in the water had been sitting in the water the same amount of time. And you can see that, like, look at those roots. Yes, that's what we want. Do you see how much more these roots have developed than those other ones? This dirt way is just the best. I love it. Like, I don't know who wouldn't want to do it in the dirt. It's easier too. I have not paid attention to them at all. Put them outside, put them in the sun, put them in the rain, and they did their thing. All right, so now that we have this, same concept. I'm gonna put as much of this deep in the pot as I can. So you can kind of see how I have it in there. And so there we have it. And we'll just clear that off. There we go. So to show y'all what I'm kind of doing, lighten it up. You're trying to dig your hole, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of laying these sideways and then covering over them like that. Sweet potatoes are vining plants, so their stems can be covered with dirt and they will develop roots. All right, you guys, and that's that. We have planted sweet potatoes. So again, what will happen is that these will grow and grow and grow. I'm planning to probably put them along my trellis right here so they can vine up. The more they grow, the more power they're going to put on to the potatoes. So I would just let them go ham until you see them start to die back, and wait for them to completely die back, and that's when we'll harvest. There is the finished product, you guys. So that's all for this video. I hope that you learned as much as you wanted to about planting sweet potatoes. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll answer anything you got as to the best of my knowledge. Who knows? I may not know what you ask. I'm still learning at this too. So let me fill out the things and then we'll learn together. And then you can do it right because I failed the first time. Anyway, thanks for coming. Subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. And we will see you in the next one. Thanks.